good day. My name is Victoria Oneke, and welcome to Reflect Business Talk Show. Reflect Business Talk Show is where we talk about topics on business, entrepreneurship, and finances. The goal is to address issues that you face in your business and in your finance. So over the week, we started a teaching series on the laws of finances, and then we considered the first law, which is desire. We said desire is to sought after wealth. All right, it's a posture of the mind whenever you are pursuing financial independence. Okay, and then we talked about how your desire can be translated into riches. The first step of translating your desire into riches is to be definite on the amount you want. Yes, to be definite on the specific amount you want. The second step is to have something you can readily convert into cash. Either a business, a skill, you have to have something you can convert into cash. Because people chase after value, people pursue value. Alright, so whatever you want to have is inside people's bank accounts, is inside people's pockets. All you just need is to have something you can readily use to attract whatever you want to yourself. And then the third step is to write out a plan. Alright, so a plan here is seen as your battle plan. It's seen as your battle plan. You know, scripture speaking told us that nobody wants to build a house without sitting down first of all to count the cost. Neither does a king go into battle without sitting down to strategize on how to win the warfare. So your plan is your battle plan that helps you strategize on how you want to build wealth, on how you want to generate the money you want. Do you want to go around begging? Yes, you need a plan to beg, even though begging is not the right way of building wealth. You have to have something of value that you can give in exchange, something you can use to solve people's problem. All right, and so like I said, you have to draft out a plan. It has to be clearly written. Write it down on paper and follow it. Be determined and follow whatever plan you have. Right, this is the point where people just get relaxed and say this thing does not work, this desire does not work. It does not work because you wrote down your plan and you just dumped it somewhere. All right, you have to follow the plan to the letter. Okay, so that is that for last week, and today we are going to be talking about the second law of finance. Yes, the second law of finance. After you might have desired, translated your desire into riches, the money has come. Now this is where many people are having issues. They cannot manage it when it comes. So the second law of finance is what I call budget. Budget is just a plan on how you spend your money. Right? You know, as Christians, we are stewards of the resources of God. And scripture told us that as stewards, we are supposed to be found faithful. And scripture also told of a parable of a man that gave talents to his servants. So if God gives you, it is expected that you come back with more returns. That is the principle of the kingdom. So if God trusts in your hands a certain amount of riches, it is demanded that you manage it effectively, because it is when you manage it effectively that it gives you more. This is how God works. God is principle based. Alright, so through budgeting, you are able to know how much you earn and how much you spend. Alright, it makes you accountable for all of the money that goes in and all of the money that goes out. You're able to track your expenses. One of the disadvantages of not budgeting is that it leads you to debt. Okay, because you tend to now live more than what you are earning. You tend to now live more than the money that you have, because you are not able to track your expenses. You are not able to track money that came into your hands and money that went out. So it will lead you to, debt. You run into debt, and that is not good for you. And so quickly we'll take you through the steps of budgeting. How do you budget your finances? First of all, you have to know the purpose why you want to budget. Do you want to budget because you want to save? Let's say you have a plan that in the next 6 months you want to buy a house, a phone. Yes, that is one purpose why you want to budget, because you want to buy a phone, so you have to save. All right, another reason why you want to budget is because you want to clear off your debts. You realize that you now run into thousands of debts, and you want to pay back, budgeting can help you achieve that. You realize that you overspend a lot of money, you spend your money on a lot of things, and at the end you can't account for what you did. Budgeting can help you clear that out, can help you settle that. And so like I said, you have to know how much, you have to know your goal. You have to know what is my goal for wanting to budget my finance. The truth is that budgeting will make you live a certain kind of life, to make you look like you are strict on yourself, but it takes determination, it takes discipline to build wealth. It takes discipline. If you want to experience financial independence, you have to be a disciplined person. You can't remove discipline and wealth. You can't separate them. You have to be so disciplined, and you have to be disciplined with your finance. So that's what that's what budgeting does. So now you are clear on your goal. I have a slide on the screen that will take you through this session. So for this particular slide, our goal is to save. Alright, so the second step is you have to identify your source of income. So for this particular one, the source of income is, we have the passive source of income and the active source of income. The active source of income is the source of income that you are sure you are going to be earning monthly, like your salary. You are so sure that at the end of the month you are going to get so amount. All right. And your passive income is money you get from gifts, maybe someone dashed you money and the rest. And so these are the two sources of income. For this particular person, the source of income for this particular person is a active income. All right, it's an active income. So you write out your source of income, you write the amount, and then you write down your expenses. Next one is to go down to your expenses. You will be able to write out how money comes into your pocket. Now you're going to go down to how money goes out of your pocket. That is your expenses. The first expenses you make is your tithe and your offering. All right, your tithe is your 10% of whatever you make, and your offering. All right, so for this tithe and offering, you can budget 15%. So 15% of your total earning for tithe and offering, and that is what gave us 7.5. Now, after your tithe and offering, the second major expenses, now you have to focus on your primary expenses. This is where many people miss it. They spend their money on expenses that do not matter. So you have to focus on your needs. What are those things you need? That is where your money should go to, not your wants. You can do without your wants, but you can't do without your needs. So the second thing is you have to budget for your savings. Remember, I said that my goal for budgeting is to save. So I have removed 10% of my earnings for savings. Alright, it's a principle of personal finance that any money that comes into your pocket, you remove 10% and pay yourself first. You have to pay yourself first for every money you make. Yes. And so I have removed 10% of my earning and I have paid myself. It is not good that I work for someone, after working for the person, I do not pay myself at the end of the month. It doesn't make sense. So I have removed the 10%, and the next expenses I'm going to make are now my needs. Alright, my needs are like food, shelter, and the rest. So for my food, I remove 20% of my total income. 20% of the total income goes for food. And for the shelter, for example, you are living in a house where you pay 100,000 naira yearly. A year consists of 12 months. So 100,000 naira divided by 12 months will give you 8,300 and something naira. So that is what you pay monthly. So at the end of the month, when you receive your income, you are supposed to deduct that out of it. The mistake people make is that they leave the house rent to the end of the year, and then it becomes so cumbersome for you. No, you have to remove it monthly. You You have to remove it monthly so that you can be able to solve your house rent issues by the end of the year. After your house rent, you have to now consider your electricity. These are things you can't do without. You have to pay for your electricity. Now you have been able to focus on your primary needs. You have been able to focus on your primary needs. Then after you have identified your primary need, you have deducted it from your income, right? Then you go to needs that are not mandatory. All right, needs that are not mandatory. This is where you have to identify your personal care, those things that you buy to take care of yourself, especially if you're a lady. You budget that. For that, I budgeted 10% of the salary. And then transportation, for the month, 10% too. And then charity, okay, this one you remove it for kingdom projects. Your charity is for your kingdom projects, and also to help people, basically to help people. That's what this money is kept aside for. So if you are someone who hears God will lead you to someone you will give this money to. Is either a pastor, a ministry, anywhere, an orphanage, anywhere. Just make sure that you budget this amount at the end of every month from your earnings to give it to an orphanage home or whosoever the Lord lays it in your heart to give. Now, by the end of summing everything, you realize that I have minused my income from my expenses, and I have just 1,000 something left. Now, from this budget, you see that what I have left is small. It means that I have to now have another source of income so that I can be able to foot emergency bills that come up. Alright, so I can be able to foot emergency bills that come up. In a situation where when you have finished drafting your budget and you realize that your expenses is more, it is wisdom. Wisdom demands that you think of another source of income that will be able to offshoot for your excess budget. So that's what wisdom demands, that you create another source of income. Now, for someone that is a freelancer, maybe you do not receive your income monthly. All right, you don't receive your income monthly like a salary earner. Maybe your money comes whenever you do a work, twice weekly, twice monthly, whatever way. So for a freelancer that your money does not come at once, does not come in whole as a salary, and it comes in bits. It could be then twice in a month, 3 times in a month. So if you are in that category, yes, you can still able to account for your money and account for how much you spend. Like I already said, your budget should be drafted out before the starting of a new month. So you've already drafted out what you want to do with money in April. So you've written it out. The first income that comes, you deduct your tithe and offering, your savings, and your charity. Then, like I said, 50%, 10%, and 10%. So that is you have a total of 45% out. Now, the remaining, you look for the expenses that fit in, that is suitable for whatsoever that is in your budget, that can cover for whatsoever that is in your budget. All right. So let's just, for example, you did a work that you will pay 20,000 naira. All right. Out of 20,000 naira, you have 10,000 naira. Out of 20,000 naira, you have 2,000 naira for your tithe. All right, and 1,000 naira for your offering. That's 15%, 3,000 naira. And then you have 10% for savings. That is 2,000 naira. By the time you finish doing the addition and the subtraction, you should be left with about 14 to 15,000. Now, this money that you are left with, you look for the expenses that can suit it. So, for example, you have 20,000 naira. Then, after you might have finished deducting everything deductible, what is left? You look for what is in your budget that can suffice for that amount. Alright, so if another income comes in, you did another work, you record it under income. And then if there's any other expenses you want to make, you go to your budget and pick it out of your budget and attend to it. Now that is how you are able to know how much you earn and how much you.
So in a month, someone can walk up to you and you can be able to tell them how much you made and how much you spent. So it's as simple as that. I really hope you got value. I really hope you are going to apply everything you've learned. The goal of learning is not to just have knowledge, is to be able to apply it. That is how wisdom is being gotten. So today we've come to the end of the class, and I really hope you enjoyed yourself because I did. See you next time. See you next time. Alright, have a nice day. And do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms. Reflect Business Academy on Instagram and on Facebook. Alright, have your day. Bye.